Bam. My peoples. My people. This all about Teofimo Lopez right here, man. You know, I gotta address it because I seen him the other day talking, in a way almost like he was expressing empathy towards Tank or talking about, well, look how the fans turned on Tank when he had that fight with Roach and look at how they doing him. And it's like, bro, you was just calling Tank a monkey not too long ago. William P. Good morning, my brother. First one in the building. So I'm trying to figure out how is Teofimo one day he's the bad guy, calling niggas monkeys, bringing out the watermelon and the banana, and the next day he's trying to be the good guy, expressing empathy about Tank and how they doing him because of the situation with Roach and all that stuff. Like, bro, that's my opinion, right? That's my personal opinion. You coming across as fake because you can't be the good guy and the bad guy at once. You can't appease everybody. You the bad guy, no problem. Be the bad guy. You the good guy, be the good guy. But when you try to be both, it comes across as fake because it looks like you're trying to attract these fans by being the bad guy, and then you also want to attract these fans by being the good guy. It doesn't really work that way. You're gonna turn everybody off. Everybody's gonna be turned off when they start to feel like, oh damn, this dude's fake. You gotta stick to the script. You wanna be good, you wanna be bad, do that. Can't be both, my people. That's my personal opinion. I'm somebody who at some point is like Teofimo convinced me that he was a racist because he kept doing it and doing it and doing it. And by trying to be the bad guy, you're not gonna convince me otherwise. You're not. John Parham, salute my people. What's the deal, my brother? Appreciate you dropping in, man. You already know what it is. So the whole situation with Teofimo Lopez, I'm not feeling him wanting to be the good guy and the bad guy. To me, like I said, that comes across as fake. You got to be who you are. Be yourself. Stop trying to be this character for other people and then try to walk it back and be a different character for a different group of people, because that's not going to work. It's not. And I feel like Teofimo Lopez should be a bigger star than what he is. I mean, he's famous. He's a star in the world of boxing. But if you take into account his accomplishments, what he's been able to do inside the ring, the titles that he's been able to win at his age, he should be a much bigger star. But I feel like Teofimo is not liked by a lot of people because of the way that he be acting, because of the shit that he be saying. JJ's in the house. Good morning. Let's get it here. And the like button. Appreciate you, my G. You already know what it is, man. We talking boxing. So the one thing I could say about Teofimo, man, is that, in the ring, he does his thing. He's proven his pedigree over and over. It's just the way he act. He don't know how to act. Teofimo has, I would say, a weird personality where he's almost like trying to be somebody when the camera's pointing at him. Ozzy, the yellow hat look good, my G. Appreciate it, fams. Don't worry. One of these days, these hats, they're going to be for sale. Y'all going to be able to get it. I'm just working on the process to actually ship it to y'all. But once I got those details ironed out, y'all going to be able to order these. A Boogie 616 and blessing everyone. Appreciate it, my brother. So, yeah, man, the whole situation with Teofimo Lopez, I believe that, he's getting in the way of himself becoming a bigger star. Because you're not liked, and you're not liked because of the way that you be acting. If you come across as fake, which he does to me, a lot of people are going to see it that way too. Like, what are you doing? Like, today you're the bad guy, tomorrow you want to be the good guy. What are you? What, like, you don't have your own personality? You trying to act like other fighters? You see somebody be the bad guy, you want to be the bad guy too? You see somebody being the good guy, now you're also the good guy? That shit doesn't work, bro. Just be yourself. Be you. That's going to be good enough. That's what attracts the fans. Listen, I would say, fans of boxing are attracted to fighters who come across as real, as themselves. If you look at Tank Davis, whether you like him or not, but he's himself. When that camera's looking at him, he's him. Buck Crawford, Shakur, all of them, they themselves. But Teofimo, he comes across like he be acting for the camera. Like he want to say things for the camera. He thinks that's gonna, that's gonna go viral or be popular because he said this or that. Look at the whole situation with Keyshawn Davis when he fought Baranchek and the watermelon and the bananas, and right away Teofimo did a video with him eating watermelon and bananas and laughing. It's like, bro, you wasn't even in that fight. You wasn't even in that whole card, but you try to inject yourself. It's like you fighting for clout by acting and doing these little skits, and that shit is corny as hell. John Parham, tell attention whore for the wrong reason. That's facts. He's like a little attention whore. And it's like, bro, you're a world champion, a multi-division world champion, a unified champion. There's a lot of much better ways that you can get attention. You see, when Teofimo used to do the takeover stuff and it was about him, I'm the takeover, I'm taking over, I was cool with that because that's just showing confidence. But when you start doing all this other corny shit and trying to play the bad guy, and then you come on TV now trying to play the good guy, like, oh, look what they did to Tank Davis. Now you expressing empathy towards the same motherfucker that you was calling a monkey not that long ago. You look goofy as hell, bro. Like a cornball. So I believe that, Teofimo Lopez, he needs an advisor to sit him down and teach him how to act. Teach him, bro, you gotta act like Teofimo Lopez. You gotta stop making up these bad guys in your head that you're gonna be for the camera. Convince people that you're the bad guy, and then try to convince them that you're the good guy. Because I'm gonna tell you like this: once you convince somebody that you're this type of person, it's gonna be hard to now reconvince them. Oh no, you're not that type of person. You're actually this type of. Nah, bro, it doesn't work that way. It really does not. So I'm not on board with the way Teofimo Lopez been acting. Like I said, I always respect the fighters, what he does inside the ring. I respect him. I believe that he's one of the best in this era. He's gonna accomplish more things. And, I believe that he's a pound for pound fighter right now. But personality wise, nah, man. Teofimo is wilding the hell out. Stop it. Stop. Be yourself, bro. And focus, instead of focusing on all these other fighters and talking about these fighters and bringing them up, focus on your next fight with Barboza. Because Arnold Barboza is feeling real confident in himself, and he feels like he's going to whoop Teofimo's ass. And you're over here talking about Tank Davis and that you said all these things because you was trying to fight him. Man, how you on? If anything, and Tank Davis actually said it. He was like, yo, I'm not going to fight him because he's a racist. So if you thought you were going to convince Tank Davis to fight you by doing all that shit, doing all that monkey and watermelon and banana shit, you actually did the opposite. You made him not want to fight you. You gave him a reason to not want to fight you. Because I already heard Tank Davis say it. Nah, I ain't fucking with him. He a racist. You fucked up. Probably fumbled the bag. You may have been able to get the Tank Davis fight. It ain't happening now. Dry turkey. I saw some report that Floyd Mayweather was offered a Kambosos fight next. Nah, that's gotta be fake. That's gotta be fake, bro. I don't believe that nobody trying to offer Floyd Mayweather no fights. They know that he's not trying to fight right now. So I believe that's fake. Unless some real reliable source comes out and say it. I don't believe it. John Parham, he made an ass out of himself. That's facts. That's facts. You made a goofball out of yourself. Embarrass yourself. And Tank, he's the cash cow in the division. He's not going to give you a payday. He's not going to put you in a position to make millions of dollars when you out there, being that disrespectful on a personal level. Because that's the thing. If you say this fighter's a bum or I'll beat his ass, I'm going to whoop him, that's all part of fighting. But when you get disrespectful on a personal level and then you bring up racism into it. Come on, bro. Come on, you work yourself out of that. Layla Diversion, hello. What's up, Layla? The Tavern, hit the like button and subscribe. Appreciate it, my G. Y'all already know what it is, man. Box Center, we headed for #1, baby. The inevitable. A Boogie 616. Do you see when Keyshawn confronted Tio and bringing his name up in an interview? Tio was shook. Yeah, I seen that. And then Tio tried to say, nah, it's not personal. It's all good. Shook his hand and all that. Became real humble, real quick. So, but that's the one thing. A lot of fighters, they be trying to punk Tio in person. Because Barboza did the same thing. Barboza was like, you a bitch. You a bitch. What's up? What's up right now? Get them out of here. What's up right now? And Tio was like, nah, I fight in the ring. I fight in the ring. So, it seems like fighters, when they see Teofimo in person, they be punking him. Crawford also hollered at him. Like, yo, what's up? And then Crawford pulled out the camera and was like, yo, tell him what you said. Tell him what you said. And Teofimo, nah, that I was just saying it for, I was saying it to try to get the fight and all that racist shit. He walked it back when Crawford approached him real quick. So it looks like Teofimo, man, he be going hard on social media. But when he see these guys in person, that energy changed real quick. Real quick. Junk That Funk. Bro, used to have my sweater. You got the wrong YouTube channel. I ain't got your sweater. Goofy. A Boogie, haha. Facts, Jay Smith. I'm telling you, man, they be punking him. They be punking him in person. So if you're going to have, appreciate it, John Parham. You got him first. I was going to get him the hell out of here. But, I'm like, why is it that Teofimo is the hardest dude on social media? Because when you get disrespectful on social media, you're the hardest dude out. And then you see them cats in person and you be scared to death. Now when you see them in person, you be looking shook. So nah, bro, stop with that type of energy. You're not really about that life in real life. Don't be about it on social media, because then when these guys see you, there's already rumors out there that Keyshawn Davis had to put hands on your pops in front of you and that you didn't do nothing about it. That's out. A lot of people have spoke out about that. Even people that was in that incident spoke about that. How your pops got dropped and you was shook to death. Didn't even know what to do. The Tavern. No clue why Tio versus Barboza the main event. Tio ring champ. Well, to my understanding, it's Ryan Garcia versus Rolly's the main event. To my understanding. I think Teofimo's going to be the co-main with Barboza. John Parham, if you're going to try, at least make us laugh. That's what I'm talking about. At least be funny about it. God damn, it'd be corny as hell. The Tavern ain't the main event. John Parham, crazy work. The Tavern, Tio should be. Well, that's the thing. Ryan Garcia is a bigger star than Teofimo Lopez. Now, Ryan Garcia versus Rollies, that's a fight that a lot of people want to see. Teofimo versus Barboza, that's a fight a lot of people want to see. And Devin Haney versus Jose Ramirez, that's a fight people. So I believe that all three, I know, we all know that all three of those fights are main event type of fights. But they're all fighting on the same night. I still believe that Ryan Garcia is the main event. If I'm not mistaken, Ryan is the main event. The Tavern, Turkey's ring, Tail has belt. John Parham, Ryan gonna be main event any night. That's what I'm saying. Ryan Garcia is that dude. For Ryan Garcia to not be main event, maybe, if Canelo Alvarez is fighting, Ryan is not gonna be main event. Something like that. But in that division, the only one that could be main event if Ryan is fighting is Tank Davis. Outside of Tank Davis, Ryan is going to be the main event. Simply because his star power. Just Business. What's up, my boy? I got the best question for the chat. Name the top 2 fights you want to see all time. Me, I got Sugar versus Sweepy, and Hitman versus Canelo. Ooh, that's a tough one. It's hard to answer that off the top, but if I got one right away, Mike Tyson and David Tua. That's a fight I wish we could have got. And then Floyd Mayweather versus Pernell Whitaker. That's another one. But there's a lot of fights. There's a lot of fights I could think of that I would love to see. The Tavern versus Rolly. No way. Yo, listen. Rolly's a star, but Ryan is a huge star. A huge star. Ryan is a bigger star than Teofimo, and Rolly's is a bigger star than Barboza. Barboza, don't get my comment confused. Barboza's a better fighter and has a lot more upside than Rolly's, but fame wise, Rolly's more famous than Barboza right now. John Parham, just Floyd and Tank, and Tyson and Ali. Those are two good ones. Dry Turkey, Roy Jones versus Hagler, Leonard versus Mayweather. Those are two good ones. Whoa. John Parham, Ryan will do it himself. Just Business, a dry turkey hit in the head. Nice. So my peoples, what do y'all think about this whole situation with Teofimo Lopez, man? Is it a smart move for him to try to play the good guy and the bad guy? You know, like he's trying to appease to everybody. He's trying to have all of the fans like him from across the board. Or is that a bad move? Is it something that's going to make him come across as fake? Which, that's how I feel about it. You know, I feel like, yo, you can't be the good guy and the bad guy at the same time. That's going to turn people off. If y'all remember Floyd Mayweather, when he started to be the bad guy, that's it. He stuck to the script. He was the bad guy for the rest of his career. He didn't try to switch around and be the nice guy, be the good guy. He was consistent. You got to be consistent with who you are. Just Business, what's his stats and background on him, Jay? Who are we referring to, my brother? John Parham, he too good of a fighter to do all that. Not a good look. I agree with you, John Parham. You know, I think Teofimo's acting like maybe like a journeyman, like somebody who's craving for that attention and is just willing to do anything to get it. Like this guy, Dylan, is it Dylan Dennis? Dennis Dillon, the guy fighting KSI. That dude right there, like, I only know him for talking shit. I don't really know him for being a fighter. It's like, yo, this dude literally got himself in front of a camera by talking shit and has landed some fights versus YouTubers who are more famous than him by talking shit. Dylan Dennis. So Teofimo Lopez acting like that. Like, he's not a talented fighter, so he needs to do all this crazy gimmicky shit so people could pay attention to him. Come on, man. John Parham, he wants to be the face of boxing. I mean, I don't know. He's not going to be the face of boxing acting like that. But, he could keep winning in the ring and beating the names and he could get far. As far as the face of boxing for Teofimo Lopez, it's hard, man. It's hard for me to see it. But it can happen. I believe that the next face of boxing is going to be Shakur Stevenson. But in reality, it's up for grabs, and I understand that too. Why is it up for grabs? Because there's a few guys that are all going to be fighting for that title. They're all gunning for it. They all want it. So I think we have to see how it plays out. But with Teofimo Lopez acting the way that he is, his popularity is not going to be where it should be. John Parham, agree, but he's trying to get the same attention. I'm saying, though, man, trying to get attention by acting like a racist, and they say, oh, no, I'm not a racist. I was just trying to get the fight. I don't know. Plus, you missed out. Like, right now, I feel like Tank Davis will never fight Teofimo. Ever. It's never going to happen. And you gave him a reason to say, I won't fight him. Come on now. That just wasn't a good move. I don't know that was ill-advised. So listen, sometimes there are fighters, there are athletes from any sport that they need an advisor. They need an advisor to guide them and say, look, these are the things that you should say in front of the camera. These are the things that you should not say in front of the camera. These are the type of videos that you need to make. Superman, salute, my brother. Sometimes you need an advisor. People think that's dumb, but it's not. Because the right person on your side can tell you, yo, that video, don't post it. Don't post that video, my guy. It's going to make you look bad. It's going to make you look like a racist. And a lot of people, you're going to lose fans. Don't post it. That's what you pay an advisor for. So that they make sure that you're doing and saying the right things outside of the ring. We already know you're a gifted athlete. We already know you can fight. But your personality, you're a goofball. You don't know how to act. You need somebody like that. You need somebody to point you in the right direction. And who Teofimo Lopez got? His father, who another goofball that be talking mad crazy. With your father right there, egging you on, all you're going to do is be doing stupidity and saying dumb stuff all the time consistently, which Teofimo has. Dry turkey, Tank was never fighting him anyway. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if that was the case, but taking into account how he been acting, Tank said straight up, I'm not fighting him. He a racist. Troy back. Good morning, brother. Tank would never fight those top guys. It's apparent. I mean, first of all, good morning, Troy. And right now, you know, Tank being 30 years old and still hasn't fought any of them, you know, you have a good argument. You have a good argument, my guy. Superman. Goofy Teo Sr. Yeah, man. Teo Pops, he goofy as hell. He goofy. So imagine if that's the person advising you on the things you should say and do. No wonder Teofimo be acting like a goofball. Hash bash. Teo just wants to fight because he lost his zero. I mean, not you can't say that, my brother, because Teofimo been trying to fight everybody since forever. He's always, you know, he's been calling out Devin Haney since he was undefeated. When they was both undefeated, he was calling out Devin Haney. He was also calling out Tank Davis when he was undefeated. So it's not like he started calling them out after he lost. JJ Zendejas, if you can't advise yourself correctly, then get an advisor. It's worth the money. Facts. Get yourself, if you already see that you're making dumb mistakes and trying to walk it back and you changing personalities, you look goofy as hell. Get somebody to help you out. Shaggy, my G, happy Thursday. Happy Thursday, my brother. You already know what it is. Troy back. I missed a couple of those shows. How's your family? Everything's doing good, my guy. You already know what it is. Working hard. We grinding. Headed for number one. Doing what we do. Dry turkey. Shaloma have said, I'm not fighting Devin because he'll never get beat by a white boy. I mean, I don't know. I think that Loma, you know, honestly, when I watched that fight, I thought Loma won. And then I watched it a couple more times. And then I kind of changed my mind to, you know what? It could have went either way. I still picked Loma as the winner. But there were a few swing rounds where Devin Haney was landing, you know, nasty body shots that landed flush. So I understand why some of those rounds were given to Devin. It was a very good, very competitive fight. And to be honest, I would even like to see the rematch with the way that fight played out. That's just me. John Parham. Moses will be heavyweight champion in 2-3 years and be the new face of boxing. We got to see, man, because if you think about it, it's been a very long time since a heavyweight was the most popular guy in the sport. Like we have seen some popular heavyweights, you know, Fury, AJ, even Wilder, very popular. But there's always been fighters that were more popular than them. So the heavyweights, they haven't really ran boxing like it's a heavyweight world. It hasn't been that way in a very long time. You got to think back when it was Lennox Lewis, Evander Holyfield, Mike Tyson, Riddick Bowe. Those times it was about the heavyweights. We haven't seen that in a while where there's, you know, superstar heavyweights and a bunch of them and they're fighting each other. We just haven't seen that. LLYY, what up, G? What's the deal, my guy? Bam. LLYY, what do you think is the best marketing strategy to promote yourself as a boxer? The best marketing strategy is to win and fight names. You don't have to do a lot of gimmick. You don't have to talk a lot of shit. fight names and beat them. Beat people who already made a name for themselves. I think that's the best marketing strategy. John Parham, heavyweight division is weak now. Good point. And if you think about it, man, it's been weak for a long time. Plus, there hasn't been an American heavyweight really running the show like that in a very long time. Because even with Deontay Wilder, he had one belt, and when he tried to unify, we saw what happened with him. You know, if you look at his resume, it's not an amazing resume. Like, he beat a lot of great heavyweights. He didn't beat a lot of great heavyweights. So you have to consider who can be a superstar heavyweight. At one point, I thought Jared Anderson was gonna be that guy, and then look, not because he lost. Losing doesn't mean you can't be a big name fighter. Canelo became the face of boxing after losing to Floyd Mayweather. So one loss doesn't mean that you can't be the guy, but it's just the way that he's been acting. You know, talking about he was said a while back that he don't care about winning titles. Took that loss like it was nothing to him. Like, yeah, you know, I lost, but I'm gonna go back to my family and we got money and blah blah blah. It's like, bro, it don't even look like you want to be a champion. You're just trying to make a nice check. JJ Zendejas, let your hands do the talking for you. That's facts. That's facts. John Parham, social media too. I agree. I agree with the social media aspect, but I think social media is secondary. And what I mean by that, if you're all over social media, but you ain't doing shit in the ring, it's not gonna happen for you. You know, you gotta back it up. You know, you gotta do what you gotta do inside the ring, but you can definitely use social media to market your name, to grow your name, to reach a wider audience. I agree with that. A Boogie 616. How you feel about Andy Ruiz if he didn't stop training and fumble the bag? You know, Andy Ruiz, he's an elite level fighter. He's an elite level fighter. He can fight. We already know the type of power that he carries in both hands, so he can knock anybody out. We saw him stop AJ, but the inactivity, man. And it's not just Andy Ruiz. If you look at it, pretty much all the PBC fighters have been going through the same process where, you know, they've all been mad inactive. I'm talking about the guys with a name. They've all been inactive. They've all, you know, seemingly been out of boxing completely when they've been inactive, like, you know, living that life, the partying, the hanging out, the chilling. So, but I believe Andy Ruiz is an elite level fighter. And even right now, I think he could still become a champion again. Even right now. LLYY. But most organizations don't care about how good you are as a boxer. They just care that you're going to sell fights and be popular. Take Conor McGregor as an example. But you gotta remember, Conor McGregor is not a good example because look at all his accomplishments in UFC. So he accomplished a lot as a fighter in a different sport, of course. And then in boxing, in reality, Conor McGregor is irrelevant right now as a boxer. He had one fight with Floyd Mayweather, and that's it. And he made a lot of money, but he got that opportunity with Floyd because of what he had already accomplished in MMA. That made it such a huge fight. Popularity does count, but you have to, like, I'll give you an example. Jake Paul. Jake Paul is making a lot of money in boxing, but he carved his own lane for himself. He's never going to be a world champion. He's never going to be viewed as an elite level fighter. So Jake Paul's popularity mostly comes because he already had a huge following with his YouTube subscribers. So the YouTube fan base, you know, they're loyal to him. And when he goes fight, they all tune in. They buy his fights. They support him. That's why. But the boxing audience, if right now Jake Paul was to say, I retire, I'll never fight again, we wouldn't give a damn about that shit. We might even celebrate like, yes, we finally done with his goofy ass. Flip. I like Usyk. He's got that dog in him that I really appreciate in a fighter for sure. Listen, Alexander Usyk is without a doubt one of the best heavyweights of this era. When it's all said and done, he may actually be the best heavyweight of this era. Usyk is for real. You know, he's that guy. Not just because his record, but you have to look at the resume. You have to look at what he's been able to accomplish. This guy became undisputed in cruiserweight and move up to heavyweight, and look what he's been able to do. So Alexander Usyk is a special fighter for sure. LLYY. True, Usyk got the name of the top 5 heavyweights in history of boxing. I mean, I wouldn't rank him in history just yet. I think you want to wait for his career to be over, and then you start making the comparisons. But he's definitely already cemented himself as an all-time great. A Boogie 616. Usyk seems real, a real humble dude. Yeah, man. If you see, not just the fact that he's humble, but just the way that he acts, his demeanor. He's relaxed. He jokes around. He's a cool guy. Usyk is the type of guy that you feel like you could just hang around with him one day. Hang out with him. Just hang out. Let's talk shit. That it don't even gotta be about boxing. We could talk about music, movies, what type of animals we like. He's that type of guy. Love more Hinduism. What you think about Klitschko era? Listen, I had the opportunity to watch both Vitaly and Vladimir Klitschko. They were great fighters, great, physical, athletic, big heavyweights that can bang. They could both box. And I thought that they both had great careers. They both became world champions. They both beat some good names. So the Klitschko's, great fighters. Great fighters. I think they're amongst the best brothers to ever be champions. I will put the Klitschko's ahead of the Charlos. Put it to you like that. Gilbo Moreira. Bolsonaro jailbreak. Bolsonaro jailbreak. Okay. Jailbreak yourself the fuck out of here. But yeah, man, the Klitschko brothers, they real. They real like that. If you got to watch them fight, the power, the boxing IQ, they was for real. Love more Hinduism. Feel like they never got their flowers. I mean, during their era, I think a lot of people respected them. And even the fighters, promoters, coaches respected them. But I think after time passed, they don't get that attention. People don't talk about them like that. Like, I believe that they should definitely get their flowers more often. But if you ask me, I gotta tell you right away, both of them were great fighters. Both of them accomplished a lot for a reason. LLYY, what's your advice? Just be yourself, humble and respectful like Bivol, Arthur, Triple G, and don't do all the crazy things like trash talk and being so annoying and tattoos and all that thing. Now listen, I gotta say, look, you gotta do, if you don't have a personality to come up with a character, just be yourself. Just be your fucking self, because you're gonna embarrass yourself trying to act. There's people that have that it factor that they can do it. To give you an example, Rollies. Rollies is goofy. He like to mess around. He like to joke around. That works for him. He don't need to be humble. He don't need to. Ryan Garcia, if you're good at trash talking, do it. You're good at it. No problem. I don't see no problem with it. Now, what you're saying about the tattoos, I don't see nothing wrong with tattoos. That has nothing to do with it. But as far as how you act, if you're not a good trash talker, if you're going to make a fool out of yourself, just shut the hell up and be yourself, bro. Just be yourself. Look at Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford is himself. You don't see him, you don't see him doing all this gimmicky stuff. Hash bash. As a fighter, you got to be able to be yourself, because we had Andre Ward, who was great, but didn't put himself out there with no interviews. Yeah, Andre Ward didn't become the type of star that he should have, in my opinion. That's what I would say. LLYY, just curious, what do you do for a living and how old are you? If you don't mind me asking. John Parham, Hash, good question. And, I agree. Good point. I agree. That's a real good point. You should be yourself. You should always be yourself. But, if someone is able to come up with a character for themselves and act it out, like Floyd Mayweather was a character. Don't get it twisted. When he fought De La Hoya and he came out with the Mexican gear, from that point on he became a character. He became the bad guy. But he was good at it. He was good at drawing that attention. John Parham, Ward was a dog, that's a fact. Andre Ward was a dog. I think he could have done a better job of marketing himself. Like the guy retired undefeated and nobody even really talks about him like that. But in the ring, he did what he had to do at the highest level. D. Wheeler, you got to understand why Teo bring a character, though. He trying to make himself more marketable. I mean, I understand that. But, the character that you're bringing in can be a bad guy one day and a good guy the next day. That just doesn't work because now you're bringing a fake character then. Think about it. With Teo resume, he should be way bigger than what he is. And I was saying that earlier, my brother, like 15 minutes ago. That's exactly what I was saying. He should be a way bigger star, but he's not because, his personality, he's too corny, bro. He corny as hell. LLYY, John Parham, OFC, bro. I'm 19, and I own a business and trying to make it as a boxer. Making it as a boxer is my main goal. Golden Gun, UFC better than boxing. Okay, so what are you doing here, Golden Gun? Bye, goofy. You want to show up over here talking about UFC better than boxing? Get the hell out of here. We don't want you. We don't need you. Superman, of course, he a clown. That's what I be saying, my people. Teofimo, he a clown. He be acting like a clown. And that's never going to help you. People want to see, yes, people want to see your personality. And yes, people love a character. If you're a character, cool. But you got to be consistent. You got to be the type of character that's going to draw people in because you that character. You can't be a character and then all of a sudden you want to be the good guy now. No, look what they doing. And that shit doesn't work, my peoples. LLYY, UFC is an organization. The fuck you compare it to a whole sport for? I mean, I don't know what to tell you, bro. It's just people they just need attention. I give it to them for a second and get them the hell out of here. D. Wheeler, you're right, but being a great boxer isn't enough now. Now they want you to be a character, someone to sell tickets. Being a boxer ain't enough. Nah, I gotta disagree, my brother. Being a boxer can be enough. And you know why I say that? Look at Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford is not a character. Terence Crawford don't be acting for nobody. He don't be doing nothing over the edge. He just do his job in the ring. And you know what? Fame, the right amount of fame eluded Terence Crawford for a long time. But what happened after he beat Errol Spence? The interviews came, the movie people came calling, the shows came calling, Good Morning America came calling, and now Terence Crawford is a huge star. Now Terence Crawford is on the verge of fighting Canelo Alvarez, the face of boxing. So Terence Crawford went to the guy that was ignored by everybody to the guy who's going to be fighting the face of boxing. Quietly. No trash talking, no crazy interviews, no controversies, just winning inside the ring. So it can be done. John Parham, I love boxing, but I've started watching UFC because boxing was falling off. That's facts. And that's a lot of people, John Parham. A lot of people decided, let me go check out UFC, man, because whatever's going on with boxing, I'm tired of it. And boxing has been falling off for multiple reasons. Number one is the big names not fighting each other. But number two, the controversial decisions. People are tired of controversy. People are tired of seeing guys that should have won lose the fight or get a draw. John Parham, I got Ben. I got Conor Ben over Chris Eubank. Me too. By stoppage, brutally. Hash bash. Terence Crawford is great, but they use what was available to him because Crawford should have been making interviews with ESPN shows. That's the reason Crawford is not a superstar. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if interviews with ESPN was going to make it a difference simply because you got to understand that the people are still watching his fights. They're still going to watch his fights. Shakur Stevenson is the most watched fighter on ESPN, and he's not a superstar. So I don't think it's just giving the interviews. Is that he's not a character. He's not causing controversy. He's not putting himself out there. He's not doing a podcast. He's not, doing these other things to market himself. He's just going in the ring, fighting, and winning. D. Wheeler, great example, but look at your example. Terence been a great boxer forever, but he's just now being the top of boxing because he can't sell out none. Nah, he went to the top and he's the star that he is because he was able to beat Terence Crawford. I mean, he was able to beat Errol Spence in brutal fashion. Right there, his stock skyrocketed. But I'm gonna tell you like this, my brother. When you say he can't sell none, you simply gotta look at the one thing boxing fans always overlook, and it's a dance partner. The biggest selling fights, they always have a dance partner. They want to attribute the numbers to one guy. Ooh, Floyd did 1 million this, and Floyd did 1 million that. He did it versus Manny Pacquiao, a huge star. He did it versus Conor McGregor, a huge star. So Floyd Mayweather's biggest numbers were versus superstars. Look at Tank Davis, his biggest numbers versus Ryan Garcia. You need a dance partner. Terence Crawford simply hasn't had that dance partner. So when you say, well, he can't sell, it's not that he can't sell, bro. Watch when he fight Canelo what's going to happen. What's going to happen? Yes, you're going to attribute those numbers to Canelo, but at the end of the day, Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez, he's going to do way bigger number than Canelo did with a lot of his opponents. So that's the problem that people overlook. You need a dance partner. For your numbers to be crazy, you need the right dance partner. And Crawford hasn't had that. If he would have been able to have stars when he was at welterweight, we would have been saying, yo, man, Terence Crawford, he sells a lot. He's doing crazy numbers. He hasn't had the dance partner to do it. Simple as that. Pierre Oliver. Oof, I don't know. Eubank very good, and I got the weight advantage. I mean, Chris Eubank is the bigger guy. Conor Benn is moving up to fight him. But, yo, that energy Conor Benn is bringing to the table, I feel like he's going to do it. I really do. It takes two to tango, brother. That's right, West. That's what I'm saying, my G. Like, people always knock Crawford like, oh, is that he don't sell. Who the hell he fighting that sells? Most of us never even heard of Madrimov before he fought him. So how is that going to sell crazy numbers? So that's what it's all about. It's about having the right dance partner. When he get the right dance partner, the number's going to be crazy. Watch the numbers when him and Canelo fight. They're going to be crazy. Watch if he fight Charlo. Like, let's say he beats Canelo and he goes fight Charlo after that. The numbers are going to be crazy. Insane. But that's what it's about. You need a dance partner, my peoples. Instead of knocking him like, oh, he don't sell. Come on now. You need somebody to step in the ring with you that's going to bring them numbers too. Hash bash. The dance partner have to be a superstar also, but you got to be a superstar first. I mean, how do you become a superstar? You become a superstar by fighting with other superstars. Simple as that. D. Wheeler, Conor, not so nice to me. I don't know, man. I believe Conor is so nice to me. Conor Benn, he's a guy that can fight, bro. He got power. He's aggressive. He's a pressure fighter. He likes to bang. I don't know if Chris Eubank is going to be ready for that type of action. Chris Eubank will be using that footwork and that movement, and I believe Conor Benn is going to catch up to him. We shall see. That fight is next month. LL Fit, the fight between Crawford and Canelo does not need no marketing at all. This fight is going to sell like crazy. That's a fact. That is a fact. There's a lot of reason why this fight is going to sell. You're talking about Mexico versus the United States, a Mexican fighter versus an African-American fighter. You know how much history there's behind that? And then for all the marbles, for Undisputed, this fight is going to sell like crazy. This fight is gonna do monster pay-per-view numbers. John Parham. If Tyson was managed correctly, he would have been top 5 more dominant. That's facts. That's facts. But, as soon as Cus D'Amato died, Tyson's career started going downhill. He didn't have anybody in his life that could keep him under control. I do believe Crawford way too small. Canelo might stop him. Let me just say this, I do believe, and I say this all the time. You think Canelo's big? Before he was ever going to fight Crawford, have you ever said, yo, Canelo's a big guy? In any of Canelo's fight, have you ever said, yo, Canelo's mad big? So that's the problem. You saying Crawford is too small, but let me remind you, Canelo's mad small himself. Just because he had 168 don't make him a big dude. He a small 168 pounder. A very small 168 pounder. You have not seen a single 168 pounder that was smaller than Canelo. He's the smallest guy in the division. So you could say Canelo is too big, but he's not. At all. Crawford is taller than him, got longer reach than him, and they're going to be weighing the same. So if you think he's too small, that's fabricated. He's not too small. Definitely not too small for Canelo. But you'll find out. The time shall come. D. Wheeler, I like your content, brother. Keep going. I subscribe. Appreciate it, my brother. Y'all already know what it is, man. Hit that like button, subscribe, share these videos. We had it for number 1. That's the inevitable. LL Fit. The fuck you mean Crawford way too small? Crawford is going to be way more larger than Canelo in the ring and in the weight division. Yo, I'm trying to tell you, my peoples. I'm trying to tell you. When y'all see the people that saying Crawford is too small, when they see them standing next to each other, with Crawford, especially in the first press conferences when they start the pressers, that neither guy made weight yet, and Crawford is weighing 180 pounds, standing next to Canelo taller than him, y'all gonna see if he's too small for Canelo. That's just gonna sound crazy when you actually see it. Honestly, no rehydration clause. Canelo gonna be 190. That's fact. There ain't gonna be no rehydration clause. How much you think Terence Crawford gonna weigh for that fight? Just the other day he was weighing 185. Bulk. Cock diesel. Man, listen. Everybody who's saying Crawford is gonna be too small, when you look at the weighing, you're gonna be scared for Canelo. You'll be like, damn, isn't he supposed to be smaller? Crawford gonna look big as hell next to short ass Canelo. D. Wheeler, gotta have me on the show one day, man. It's hard to get it all out in these comments. I got you, D. Wheeler, for sure. Yo, write on one of my videos so we could get in touch. Let's link up, my G. Hash Bass. Mike Tyson was a superstar because he's the reason we have fight parties, and back then you can go to a movie theater to his fight. I mean, Mike Tyson was one of the biggest stars in boxing for a very long time. That's a fact. And listen, Mike Tyson was that guy. I still remember you would go to the store and there would be people who put their TVs. This is in New York City. There will be people that put their TVs in the window so they could all sit in front of the building to watch the fights. Then you will go to the corner store, they watching the fights. Everywhere you go, they watching Mike Tyson. No cars, no motorcycles, no traffic. Everybody's watching Mike Tyson. He was on another level. That's real talk. I do believe, I like your opinion, but Crawford ain't been hit by Canelo. He took out the Crusher, took Bivol punches, took Triple G. It's a wrap. Blessed day, bro. And I'm going to remind you, I do believe, the two people who beat Canelo Alvarez, they didn't need power. Dimitri Bivol and Floyd Mayweather, they not power punchers. They both had low knockout percentages. So the notion that, oh, this guy hits hard and he can take a punch, that means he's going to win. That's wrong, my guy. Two people outboxed Canelo thoroughly. Bivol made him look bad. So Crawford doesn't need to knock him out. He could outbox him. But you're forgetting that possibility. You're dismissing that possibility, my brother. LL Fit, but they mean Canelo will look thicker because Crawford is a little taller than him, you know? Okay, he could, Canelo's stocky. That's true. But when they stand next to each other, is Crawford going to look too small next to Canelo? Hell no. Absolutely not. He's not too small for Canelo, and we're going to see it. Pierre Oliver, Boots versus Stanionis, going to be crazy. That's a fact. I've seen a lot of people downplaying Stanionis because he don't got that many fights or because they don't know him. I've been following him. Stanionis is a very good fighter, and he is going to give Boots his toughest test. I got Boots winning it. Don't get it twisted. But it's going to be a tough fight. It's going to be a competitive fight. Boots is not just going to wash him. This guy can fight, and he got power in both hands. Hash Bass, Mike Tyson still selling at 60 years old. That's a fact. That's a fact. Anytime Mike Tyson step in the ring, he's going to sell like hotcakes. D. Wheeler, you talking Barboza or Teo? I mean, I got Teofimo winning that fight, but I've been said Barboza has the tools, the resources to upset Teofimo. We got to see how it plays out. Barboza's that good. That good. D. Wheeler, he's going to bring the best out of Boots. I believe that. I believe it. John Parent, Ryan again, but won't be as bad as defeat. LLJJ, LLYY. Nah, hell nah. Canelo ain't going to be 200 pounds that night. At almost 185 in my opinion. Yeah, I think he's going to be around there. I think Canelo and Crawford will both be close to 180. A little bit above 180. Not necessarily 185. Maybe they'll be 182, 183. But both of them will be in the 180s range for fight night. But Love More Hinduism, Boots is a duck. I don't know why you say that, my brother. Boots been trying to fight everybody. D. Wheeler, I got Devin winning. Am I tweaking? Nah, not really, my guy. Look, this is what I say about Devin. I do have the question mark. Is Devin going to be able to handle big shots? Because he took a nasty beating from Ryan Garcia. Has his punch resistance gone down? What's going to happen when he get caught with a big shot? Is he going to buckle under the pressure? I don't know. But if Devin is going to step in there and box him, use that footwork, keep that stick out there, I believe Devin can win that fight and even make this guy look bad. But if he's going to try to stand in there and bang with Jose Ramirez like he did with Ryan Garcia, I think he could get in trouble. So we have to see how that plays out. We have to see it. LLYY, do you think it's disrespectful for the sport of boxing that all MMA fighters, when they get old and don't sell MMA fights and don't get fights, they want to come to boxing? Nah, I don't think so. And the reason I say I don't think so is because even though they're not going to be as good as the boxers, but, you know, if you're a fighter, you're a fighter. If you want to make money and you want to give this a try, I think it's okay. They're not going to have success. We haven't seen any MMA fighter have, you know, real success in boxing or even come close. Oh, this guy might be a champion in boxing. It's not going to happen. You know, and boxers, as you can see, boxers ain't going to MMA. The only boxer who's gone on to fight, you know, in MMA is Clarissa Shields. That's it. But fighters, they know this is a different sport and they're smart. I'm not going to get in a cage and get beat up. That's not what I do. I box. So MMA guys, if they want to go to boxing, I don't see a problem with it. They're just not going to have success. It's not going to happen. A Boogie 616. I know people looking for a KO or stoppage in the Crawford versus Canelo, but I'm looking forward to watching Crawford and Canelo work in there. I think it's going to go the distance. I really believe it's going to go 12 rounds, and I got Terence Crawford outboxing Canelo Alvarez and winning by unanimous decision in a very competitive fight. Love More Hinduism. James Toney tried. Yeah, but what happened with James Toney? He learned. Like, you can't do it. If you're a boxer and you've been training boxing your whole life, at the end of your career, you're gonna try MMA. You're gonna get beat up. You're gonna get ragdolled up in there. Like, nah, these are guys that have been training and fighting in the ground, training with kicking, with elbows, with knees. You're not gonna, pick all of those skills up at the tail end of your boxing career. It's not gonna happen. You see, for MMA fighters, it's easier to make the transition because you only have to punch in boxing, and they already know how to punch. They're not as good as boxers when it comes to punching, but they already know how to punch. Boxers don't know how to kick, don't know how to elbow, don't know how to knee, don't know how to takedown defense or how to take that. There's too many things involved in MMA, too many elements for a boxer to even try that shit. LLYY. I think Alex Pereira versus Usyk will happen in the new boxing organization by Dana for marketing or that organization. And Alex said he want to fight Usyk so bad. I mean, listen, if Usyk and Alex Pereira box, Usyk is going to beat him up. Beat him up. And Alex Pereira can box. We've all seen the sparring matches. He can box. But he's not a boxer. These guys will beat him up. Usyk will beat him up. Swiftly. D. Wheeler, I might have to make a bet with you on the Canelo fight, OG, if that fight actually happens. I honestly believe it's going to happen. Now, I'll tell you, I won't make bets. I stopped betting a while back over little bullshit like, yo, I'm not saying that you're not going to pay me, but, yo, on Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence, I bet 6 different people. 2 paid me. The other 4 disappeared from social media. And when I found them, nah, what are you talking about? Nah, that wasn't me. I had to pull up the receipts and get blocked. So I'm done with the online betting. What I can do is I could bet, and then I could post my ticket of my bet, and you could bet, and you could post your ticket, and then when you lose, it's gonna be like you paid me. I'm gonna get my winnings for wherever I made my bet, and it's like I took your money. Pierre Oliver, Bruce Shushu versus Inoue can be a good fight to make this year. Nah, my brother, you wilding out, bro, because Shushu is fighting. What division is Shushu fighting? They're in different divisions, and you're not gonna see Shushu moving up there. It's not gonna happen. That fight is definitely not gonna happen, my brother. Love more Hinduism. Conor is a terrible boxer. I wouldn't say he's a terrible boxer. I would say he's a terrible boxer if you compare him to the best boxers out there. They're all going to whoop him. But I promise you, there's a few, B-level fighters that Conor will whoop their ass. He can box. He can box. He's just not as good as the top-level guys. LLYY. Nah, but no disrespect. Alex will look so much bigger than Usyk, and Pereira got boxing experience as well. Come on, but what boxing experience Pereira got? He don't got that real boxing experience. Do you remember how big Fury looked in front of Usyk? Looked like a giant. Still got beat up. Easy work. Remember how big AJ looked versus Usyk? Still got beat up. So you bring Pereira, who's going to look big but don't got championship boxing experience, he getting beat up, bro. He getting dominated. Like, it's not even going to be close. Usyk is going to box the shit out of him, box circles around him. Pierre Oliver. Shushu says he fly for the Inoue Cardenas fight. I don't know. I don't think Shushu and Inoue, because of the difference in weight class, I don't think that fight's going to happen, bro, honestly. And the thing is that Shushu, for his division, he a tall guy for his division. So he's not going to be able to sit around there for a long time. He's going to have to move up. He's not going to have to be able to sit around there waiting for Inoue. But we shall see. We shall see. I don't see it happening, to be honest. D. Wheeler, see how the Crawford-Canelo fight got people tripping? Why would we even be asking for Inoue versus Shushu? You see, that's what I'm saying. Like, nah, that's not going to happen. That's like when they was asking for Inoue to move up to 135 and 5 tank. Like, that was crazy. LLYY. You got to watch Alex Pereira sparring footage. Crazy talent. Nah, I seen him sparring, my brother. I seen the footage. But what I'm trying to tell you, look who Alex Pereira was sparring. He was sparring boxers, but he wasn't sparring world champions. It don't look the same, my guy. Like, I'll give you an example. I was an amateur boxer, right? And I'm 46 years old right now. If you put me in there with an average Joe who don't got experience like that, yo, I could look real good. I could look real sharp. You're like, damn, Jace nice like that? But if you put me with a professional boxer who's nice, I'm going to get my ass beat and I'm going to look like a bum. So it depends who you in the ring with. And like I said, Pereira, he can box. He got hands. but he don't got championship caliber type hands. I promise you that, bro. I promise you that. Love more Hinduism. Usyk is a special fighter, not the most entertaining. I mean, if you think about it, there's a lot of fighters, European fighters, who they're not exactly entertaining, but they're just special. It's just that they're not flashy. A lot of European fighters, they're not flashy. They don't do extra movements. They don't. They go in there and with that 1-2, they're gonna dominate you, and then they're gonna put together that 1-2-3 to finish you off. 1-2, 1-2, jab, 1-2, 1-2-3, 1-2, hook to the body, 1-2, 1-2. You know, it's like they don't have that flash. They don't do all these other combinations. They going straight forward, 1-2, 1-2 on your ass, and you know what's coming, and you still can't stop it. That's how you know a fighter's special. D. Wheeler, Prime AB versus Shakur. Who you taking and why? Oh, nah, Shakur easy. Shakur easy. Shakur winning that fight easily. Love more Hinduism. Shakur Broner was never good. I got Shakur simply because Shakur was going to be able to outbox him. Now, Prime Broner was a special talent, too. Don't get it twisted. But I got Shakur winning that fight all day long. MAW, hello, boxing fans, Jay and chat. Smash that like button. Appreciate you, MAW. We got 18 likes, my people. Let's get me to 20. 2 more likes and I'm at 20. D. Wheeler, AB was nice, just wasn't focused. That's a fact. AB, I believe, when he started making those big paychecks, started partying a little bit too much, zipping on that lean, drinking, smoking weed, just wilding out too much. AB could have been one of the best fighters of the generation, but his personal life took over. Love more Hinduism. Loma entertaining. Lomachenko, the Matrix was definitely the right name for him. Lomachenko, a very fun fighter to watch. All of his fights, if you watch, they're always exciting. He bringing that action. What I like the most about Lomachenko is that he's very, very sharp, very good defense, but he let them hands fly in the form of combinations. My peoples. MAW, so many different styles out there. But bottom line is to get the W. That's a fact. You see, there's people that they only like one style. Rock'em sock'em robots. If they not standing in front of each other's face, just knocking each other's brains out, they don't like it. I like all styles of boxing. At the end of the day, it is about winning. What do you think about Abdullah Mason? Abdullah Mason is a special fighter. He's a special fighter. He will be a world champion, and he's going to accomplish a lot in the sport of boxing. I think Abdullah Mason is one of these guys who he'll be undefeated for a very long time, and he'll beat a lot of people. Pierre Oliver, Keyshawn versus De Los Santos fight is fire. That's a fact, my brother. I can't wait for them to sign them contracts. It looks like they're heavy in negotiations right now. But Keyshawn Davis and Edwin De Los Santos is a heck of a fight. I got Keyshawn Davis winning that fight. I had people yesterday saying that, De Los Santos is going to knock him out. To me, it's always crazy when a fighter never been stopped and people just say, yeah, they're going to knock him out. It's like, bro, I think you might be exaggerating a little bit. If you got De Los Santos winning that fight, cool. De Los Santos is a very good fighter. Got skills for days. But for you to say you're going to stop him, a guy that never been stopped, that's crazy. That's a little bit of an exaggeration, I would say. LLYY, do you think Francis Ngannou made a big mistake for starting his boxing career with 2 hard fights? And I don't think so. I think Francis Ngannou was there to make money. He even said it himself. He was there for a big paycheck. He knew that he's not going to get to the top and become the biggest guy. But if he would have took smaller fights, he may have lost to a nobody, and now he fumbled the bag. So he did the right thing. He had to get the big fights so he could get the big money, knowing that he was going to lose. D. Wheeler, those cold casual fans, love more Hinduism. Carmel Moulton pay-per-view star next 5 years. I agree with you. Carmel Moulton, he's under Floyd Mayweather. He gets a lot of advice from Floyd Mayweather. They're guiding his career real good. And I'm going to tell you what, they not guiding Carmel Moulton's career like they doing with Tank, where they keeping him away from all the best fighters. Carmel Moten is gonna be a throwback fighter who's gonna be going after the big guns. Once he gets to where he needs to be at, he's gonna be fighting after all the big guns. I'm telling you. And he's gonna get a lot of big wins in his career. Carmel Moten is a special fighter, and I can't wait. I can't wait. Love more Hinduism. De Los Santos is very dangerous. That's a fact. That's a fact, my guy. De Los Santos, he a special fighter. And he got power. When a guy has power and speed, he a problem. D. Wheeler, those casuals fans messing up boxing, brother. They think if nobody got knocked out, sometimes the fight being boring. Yeah, it's like they only want to see rock'em sock'em robots. And it's like, bro, do you realize that when guys only fight like that, those are the guys at the end of their career that can't even put a sentence together because they got brain damage? It's about defense too. It's about protecting yourself. Pierre Oliver, Jermell gonna get outboxed bad if he signed that contract to fight Plant. I don't know. I think it's a misunderstanding with that. You know why? Because they're saying they're both fighting in a double header. So I think that they're actually gonna fight two different people. Each one of them is gonna fight somebody else. And then if they both win in the future, they might fight each other. I seen fans saying, yo, Charlo versus Plant. I don't think it's gonna be Charlo versus Plant. I think they're both gonna come back versus somebody else. D. Wheeler, De Los Santos not nice to me. Footwork trash, he average. Nah, my brother. Look at his fight with Shakur Stevenson. His footwork is nasty, bro. He got real good footwork. The thing about De Los Santos is that if you watch when he fought El Rayo Valenzuela, he could get sloppy. He likes to get on the inside and just trade bombs. Back and forth. Let's go back and forth. But he can box, bro. He can box. He got some nasty footwork, bro. LLYY, D. Wheeler, I don't think I'm a casual fan, but this fight didn't end in knockout. Is boring. To me. I mean, come on, brother. Every fight cannot end in a knockout. If every fight that doesn't end in a knockout is boring to you, that does make you a casual fan, bro. I gotta be honest with you. Because there's the overwhelming majority of fights don't end in a knockout. So what you're saying is, well, I'm only a fan of the knockout artists, and I only like the knockout artists, and I only like the fights that end in knockouts. Then the most of the fights you don't like then. That would make you a casual fan, my brother. I'm keeping it real with you. It's a lot going on that could be, like, let me give you an example. Look at Dmitry Bivol versus Arthur Beterbiev. Bro, those two guys went at it for 12 rounds. At this point, they done 24 rounds. And those two fights were crazy entertaining to watch. You couldn't look away from the television when those fights took place. LLYY, the only fight that I like without ending in a knockout is the rematch between Arthur and Bivol. I mean, the first fight was just as good. But there's a bunch of fights that are really good that don't end in a knockout, my brother. But if you're saying, I only like the fight that end in a knockout, bro, that's casual. Because that means that you don't like most fights. How can you enjoy the sport of boxing if you only like a small percentage of the fights? D. Wheeler, guarantee LLYY, favorite boxer is Tank. Probably, it could be. A Boogie 616, De Los Santos got great energy. I think he's the right pick. Yeah, I think so. I agree with that. Keyshawn Davis, he's trying to get his profile up. De Los Santos is a great fight because it's a competitive one. You beat De Los Santos and you got a legitimate name under your belt. And listen, Keyshawn Davis has a good resume. Don't get it twisted. But De Los Santos makes that resume better. Because sometimes you could fight a guy and beat him, and your resume is not going to be any better by beating that guy. So this is going to be a real good win for Keyshawn Davis. MAW, different fighting styles are like different flavors. Many have a favorite, but some of us like and appreciate variety. That's a fact. I appreciate variety. I appreciate all styles of boxing. At the end of the day, what I appreciate the most is that you find a way to win no matter what. Whether you knocked the guy out, whether it went the distance, whether you had to dance around the ring to survive the last couple of rounds because you got yourself ahead on the scorecards, whatever the case may be, I'm in. I love the sport of boxing, regardless. My peoples, I'm about to get the hell out of here. But before I do, as always, I want to give a shout out to everybody who support me, who support Box Center. John Parham, Flip, MAW, A Boogie, Hash Bass, Pierre Oliver, LL Fit, Flip, D Willer, Love More Hinduism. Yo, everybody who always come through, MAW, everybody who always come through, show me love. I really appreciate y'all, man. Real talk. And y'all already know what it is, man. We already got a little bit over 1,000 subscribers. We headed to 2,000, but ultimately, we're going to do 1,000,000. Box Center is going to be the #1 boxing live, the #1 boxing channel. There's no getting around it, my peoples. I promise you. It's the inevitable. Y'all already know what it is, man. I'm Jay Smith. This is Box Center, and this is your favorite boxer's favorite boxing show. See y'all tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Salute, my peoples. Bam. Let me go get something to eat. I'm out of here.